Hi guys, tonight we're going to shore up our probability vocabulary. Some of this might be a review, and if not, well then here it is. So probability and event. An event is something that occurs, so like rolling a die, what's the event? That would be the event, like the outcome, flipping a coin, if it's going to rain or not. So the probability of event is a number between 0 and 1 that describes the likelihood an event will happen. So we're going to have our scale again. So we have a 0 and a 1. So this would be a 0% chance. 1 would be 100% certain. And then remember in the middle we would have a half, or we can say 50%. And again, it depends on your outlook and events of like how we would say certain or unlikely or something like that. So likely would be over here, unlikely would be this way. So probability of something that would discuss that would be close to 0%. So I would say 0% chance of it actually raining dogs. I hope it doesn't do that. So see if you can come up with your own. 50%, I think today it might rain, okay? And 100% chance of going home after school, because I don't have any other plans. Okay, so you can either copy mine down or you can come up with your own ideas. All right, so an outcome, we say an outcome is a possible result of an action. So the action could be like flipping a coin. All right, the outcome is getting heads or tails. Sorry, my handwriting's pretty sloppy. Heads or tails. So that's the outcome. An event is just a set of outcomes. Okay, so we could say picking a card from a deck and choosing hearts. Getting hearts is the event. That's the outcome of getting hearts, my probability. So we're going to deal with experimental. So there's two types, experimental and theoretical. Theoretical is the probability, we're going to start there, that a certain event will occur. Okay, so we kind of want to think about this as you have to doing the math. Theoretical is what should happen. So we're going to highlight here what should happen. So flipping a coin, getting heads should be 1 out of 2. However, an experimental probability is the probability of what does actually happen. So we have to conduct an experiment. So tomorrow we're going to play around with experimental. We'll actually do an experiment and see what our results should be. So the probabilities are pretty much, to find the probabilities of each event is pretty much the same. So the total number of outcomes, and over here for experimental, total amount of trials, so how many times did you actually do that experiment, versus how many times it occurs versus how many times it should occur. So in a coin flip, I should only really get heads 1 out of every 2 turns. but sometimes I might get 0 out of 2 turns. Okay, so our next activity is what you're going to work here with our school calendar. So if you notice on the back, you have the beautiful 2017-2018 calendar, and we're going to calculate the theoretical probability that we should. So we're going to calculate here first the number of days in school. So I'm going to look here, and let's go, since you're a student, we're going to read the student calendar, and you have 22. Okay. There are 31 days in the month, so our probability, 22 over 31, and that's our theoretical probability. That's what should occur. That doesn't necessarily mean we had to. So then if I wanted to make that a percent, I do 22 divided by 31, and I get we'll round that to 71. So 71% chance of being in school during the month of January. So what I need you guys to do right now is you're just going to go fill out the rest of this, okay, and calculate the probability for our discussion tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow.